This is your first English album, which is quite a surprise for many people because you've had so many albums, you've got a very successful career. Why a first jazz album, and especially in English?
Actually, I have a lot of fans, well, not complaining, I think they're more relieved to finally, welcome this English album, because they've been waiting for it as long as I have been myself. Well, jazz has been my passion, my biggest passion since my university days. That's when I started to fall in love with jazz, and then so it's been, a dream for a very long time, and it's finally come to fruition, and I'm, very proud of this album. The most different part was, well, normally when you do a jazz album, you kind of record together with a band, whereas in pop music you have everything, the music all kind of arranged, and then then you just go in and do your vocals. But then, so it's kind of like a pseudo live performance, and we're all together in the recording room. So you have to get psyched up, not just yourself but everyone. And then the thing is, you of course you have to practice before, but with jazz you can't overkill it, otherwise you kind of lose the flair. And so it's got to be just right. We're ready to go, and then do it. So it's exciting in that way.
There's a lot of synergy between the players and you in the studio as well, because it's live.
Yes, and then we're very lucky because we basically just really clicked right away. I knew the guys kind of separately, but then as a group, we never worked together before until this album. It took some time. We went into rehearsal, and immediately we kind of like loved one another.
What is your own interpretation on jazz, this music genre? Because you added a little Chinese touch in many of the arrangements for this album as well.
The first thing is we're positive we don't want to copy other jazz singers or musicians who came before us, because there's no point pretending to be someone else. And jazz is such a widely loved genre, and different people from different cultural backgrounds would tend to interpret it in their own way, and I think that's really the way to do jazz. This is a jazz album coming out from this part of the world, from Asia, done by Chinese musicians, done by myself, and so we figure it's of vital importance to have our own character and identity, and since I play the guzheng myself anyway, and I played quite well, so...
We can see that. It was in the video as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's interesting to, throw in these Chinese instruments and create a new sound within the genre of jazz as well.
I don't know how you were diverted.
Does that affect your selections, the songs that you've chosen? Because you were very involved in the entire production of this album.
Yeah. I picked the songs myself. There's so many songs you would like to, you wish you could do, and so I started out choosing, these standards, and then we were quite certain that we wanted to, have some more contemporary numbers as well, and also coming from my pop background, it makes a lot of sense, and so I figured, well, a Beatles song might be really cool, and then then which Beatles song? And then I suddenly remembered, well, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, because I mean it's a beautiful song to begin with, and also because of the guitar solo, it's just wicked, and because I knew I had to pick a song that could let me feature my guzheng in a very nice way. And I had the audacity to, I'm going to replace Eric Clapton's guitar solo with my guzheng.
Ooh, all right. Sting was another selection.
Yeah. That kind of came up very early on in during the process, because Moon Over Bourbon Street really is quite jazzy in its
tells a story
in its own way.
as well.
Yeah, and it's like a narrative, and I like that. As an actress, I'm really it's like acting out a character.
In movies, that's NG 镜头, but when it comes to jazz, there's a lot of improvisation, there with the musicians. Did it take you a lot of takes to finish the entire album? That's
the thing. I mean, you can't keep doing it over and over again, because then it just gets worse. So you just really have to nail it. And no, it was it went very well. It took me a long time to come up with this title. This is actually the title of a poem that I kind of, well, wrote myself. The poem actually came from my photo book, 写真集, several years ago. And somehow it kind of just struck me that, oh right, this is a lifelong question that I've been asking myself, because I come from a mixed background, and growing up in Hong Kong is kind of you're not really sure where you belong. I mean, Hong Kong itself is a big melting pot, a little bit like Singapore kind of. And for me, it really doesn't matter which place or city I belong to. It's really where I feel most comfortable. The stuff that I'm doing which makes me most at home, and that is when I'm on stage, when I'm performing my music. And then especially jazz, because this is my biggest love in music. So we figured, this will make a really good summary of everything I want to talk about through this album.
Is there a new belonging in jazz, the music genre?
Well, yes, I hope I could expand on this a lot more. I hope this is not my last jazz album. I mean, there's still tons of these great standards that I would love to, reinterpret in my own way. Yeah.